here on KMET Los Angeles, a little bit of heaven, 94.7. Well, it's goodbye 40s. Hello 50s. Move on into the big 50s. In 1950, the Korean War began. The federal tax on margarine was repealed. A tax that had been installed when margarine was first invented to keep it from competing with butter. There was a great debate over the development of the hydrogen bomb as a war weapon in that year of 1950. And in the field of music, there were big songs like Goodnight Irene and I Said My Pajamas and Put On My Prayers. But perhaps the biggest single trend of the year 1950, or maybe I should just call it a fad because it came and went pretty quickly, something kind of surprising from today's viewpoint, 1950 was an enormous year for nostalgia, especially for the old piano roll sound with Put Another Nickel in the Nickelodeon and so on, and a song called Once Upon a Nickel, which was all about what a nickel could buy before the great inflation of the late 1940s. And we got a record here that kind of wraps the whole thing up, featuring a couple of the all-time great stars of musical comedy, Ray Bolger and Ethel Merman. Listen to the words of this one. It was made in what may seem like the ancient times to us now. It was made in 1950, but this is talking about what were the ancient times back then, but a lot of it really still applies. In 1950, Ethel Merman and Ray Bolger on the Dr. Demento Show with Dearie.
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 Dearie, do you remember when we waltzed to the Sousa band? My, wasn't the music grand? Shout-out parties down by the seashore every 4th of July. Test your memory, my dearie. Do you recall when Henry Ford couldn't even fix a running board under a Chandler 6? Dearie, life was cheery in the good old days gone by. Do you remember?
Yeah.
If you remember.
I remember.
Well, dearie, you're much older than I.
Now, wait a minute.
Dearie, do you remember when most gents owned a pair of spats, wing collars and derby hats?
They look cute.
Lovely ladies swinging their bustles made those gentlemen sigh. Test your memory, my dearie.
I'm testing.
Do you remember watching John L. win every fight? 'Cause nobody ducked from Sullivan's right. Dearie, life was cheery in the good old days gone by. Do you remember?
Of course I remember.
Well, if you remember.
How old do you think I am?
Well, dearie, you're much older than I.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Dearie, do you remember when we stayed up all night to get
Pittsburgh on the Crystal set.
good, too?
Keystone Movies, Coogan and Chaplin.
Ah, they made you laugh and then cry.
Test your memory, my dearie. Do you recall when
Gilda Gray did the shimmy shake.
that was the start of the Frisco quake?
Dearie, life was cheery in the good old days gone by. Do you remember? What if you remember? Dearie, do you remember how they loved Harry Lauder's
My, wasn't the palace packed?
Jan, Jenny Lind,
Jenny Lind.
presented by Bonham. She sang her sweet lullaby.
Test your memory, my dearie.
Testing.
Chicago all in flames sure caused a terrific row.
And they blamed it on Mrs. O'Leary's cow.
Life was cheery
In the good old days gone by. La da da da. Remember, if you remember, then you're much older than I.
1950 nostalgia, 1950 style, 1950 with a little twist at the end. Dearie featuring Ethel Merman and Ray Bolger on the Dr. Demento 50 Years of Dementia special. We move on to 1951. There was a war on, remember, the Korean War. It was in 1951 that President Truman fired General MacArthur, who was leading the Korean War effort, and that happened to the intense disapproval of many Americans. MacArthur came back home and made a speech to Congress, and he said, "Old soldiers never die, they just fade away." And that speech, records of that speech were pressed up and sold hundreds of thousands of copies, but I'm going to remember 1951 musically instead. A couple other media developments. That was the first year of American transcontinental live television. That was the first year you could turn on your set in Los Angeles and see something live from New York. It was also the year of the first attempt at a commercial color TV telecast. In the world of records, a song from the Korean War. Probably the best Army song to come out of the Korean War, was recorded by Vaughn Monroe and his orchestra, and here it is. Its original name was the Duckworth Chant. It was written originally by a fellow named Willie Lee Duckworth. Vaughn Monroe popularized it under the name of Sound Off, and here it goes.
Hip, hop, hip, hop, hip, hop, hip, hop. The heads are up, the chests are out, the arms are swinging and cadence count. Sound off, sound off, sound off, sound off. Cadence count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's go back and count some more. Sound off, sound off, sound off, sound off. Cadence count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Home, but I left.
You're right.
Jody was there when I left.
You're right.
Jody was there when I left.
You're right.
Sound off.
1, 2,
sound off.
3, 4.
Cadence count.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I left my gal away out west. I thought this army life was best. Now she's someone else's wife, and I'll be marching the rest of my life. Sound off.
1, 2,
sound off.
3, 4.
1,
2, 3, 4.
a 2,
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The captain rides in a jeep.
You're right.
The sergeant rides in a truck.
You're right.
The general rides in a limousine, but we're just out of luck.
You're right. Sound off. Sound off. Cadence down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The heads are up, the chests are out, the arms are swinging in cadence count. Sound off,
Sound off.
sound off,
Sound off.
cadence count.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's go back and count some more. Sound off, sound off, cadence count.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Company!
3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Vaughn Monroe and his orchestra with Sound Off from the Korean War. And on the home front, that was one of the first records that the little bitty Dr. Demento ever bought when I was just a kid. Sound Off from 1951. You're hearing 50 Years of Dementia, an extra special program right here on KMET.
Dr. Demento.
1952, the Korean War continued. There was a 53-day steel strike, the longest and costliest in the United States history. The Supreme Court ruled that radio broadcasts to captive audience on public buses were not an invasion of privacy. There was a potato shortage, and there was, rumble, rumble, an earthquake in Tehachapi. One of the movies of the year was The Greatest Show on Earth, starring Betty Hutton. Another one was High Noon. Cinerama was demonstrated, and also closed-circuit boxing telecasts in theaters. And we Americans elected Dwight D. Eisenhower our president. Just as he had been the leader of the armies in war, he was our leader in peacetime. And out in the world of country music had a superstar, perhaps the greatest superstar country music has ever had, the late, the great Hank Williams. This was one of his hits in the year 1952, Jambalaya.
Goodbye, Joe, me gotta go, me oh my oh. Me gotta go, pull the P-road down the bayou. My Yvonne, the sweetest one, me oh my oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Jambalaya, a crawfish pie, and a filet gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see Mama Shazamio. Pick guitar, fill fruit jar, and be gay, oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Tippy doors, the fountain nose, the place is buzzing. Kinfolk come to see Yvonne by the dozen. Dress in style and go hog wild, me oh my oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Jambalaya, a crawfish pie, and a filet gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see Mama Shazamio. Pick guitar, fill fruit jar, and be gay, oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see Mama Shazamio. Pick guitar, fill fruit jar, and be gay, oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou.
From 1952 on Dr. Demento's 50 Years of Dementia, Hank Williams and Jambalaya. In case you tuned in late, this is an extra special Dr. Demento vacation show. Yes, I'm somewhere in North America, or maybe South America, or maybe East or West America. I just might be at home listening to myself for a change. But anyway, this is an extra special show. There'll be no top 10 tonight, but we will be hearing many of your top 10 favorites later on as we play one record from each of the last 50 demented years, 1925 up to 1974, and here we come to 1953. We kind of fought a standoff with the communists, both on the home front and over in Korea. The armistice was signed over in Korea, and at home, Senator McCarthy was busily rooting out communists in the government. In England, Queen Elizabeth was crowned. In Russia, Joseph Stalin died, and in Glendale, Captain Chaos was born. The decision was made as to the color TV system that was to be used, paving the way for the widespread development of color TV. And meanwhile, radio drama was going out in a blaze of glory with Straight Arrow, the original radio Gunsmoke, and Dragnet.
The legend you are about to hear is true. Only the needle should be changed to protect the record.
This is the countryside. My name is St. George. I'm a knight. Saturday, July 10th, 8:05 p.m. I was working out of the castle on the night watch when a call came in from the chief. A dragon had been devouring maidens. Homicide. My job. Slay him. You call me, Chief?
Yeah, it's the dragon again, devouring maidens. The king's daughter may be next.
Mm-hmm. You got a lead?
Nothing much to go on. Say, did you take that .45 automatic into the lab to have them check on it?
Yeah. You were right.
I was right?
Yeah. It was a gun. 8:22 p.m. I talked to one of the maidens who had almost been devoured. Could I talk to you, ma'am?
Who are you?
I'm St. George, ma'am. Homicide, ma'am. I want to ask you a few questions, ma'am. I understand you were almost devoured by the ma'am. Is that right, Dragon?
It was terrible. He breathed fire on me. He burned me already.
How can I be sure of that, ma'am?
Believe me, I got it straight from the dragon's mouth.
11:45 p.m. I rode over the King's Highway. I saw a man. Stopped to talk to him. Pardon me, sir. Could I talk to you for just a minute, sir?
Sure, I don't mind.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a knave.
Didn't I pick you up on a 903 last year for stealing tarts?
Yeah? So what, do you want to make a federal case out of it?
No, sir. We heard there was a dragon operating in this neighborhood. We just want to know if you've seen him.
Sure, I seen him.
Mm-hmm. Could you describe him for me?
What's to describe? You see one dragon, you seen them all.
Would you try and remember, sir, just for the record? We just want to get the facts, sir.
Well, he was, he had orange polka dots.
Yes, sir.
Purple feet, breathing fire and smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And one big bloodshot eye right in the middle of his forehead, and, like that.
Notice anything unusual about him?
No, he's just a run-of-the-mill dragon, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. You can go now.
Hey, by the way, how you gonna catch him?
I thought you'd never ask. A dragon net. 3:05 p.m. I was riding back into the courtyard to make my report to the lab. Then it happened. It was a dragon.
Hey, I'm the fire-breathing dragon. You must be St. George, right?
Yes, sir.
I see you got one of them new 45 caliber swords.
That's about the size of it.
You slay me.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about.
What do you mean?
I'm taking in a 502. You figure it out.
What's the charge?
Devouring maidens out of season.
Out of season? You never pinned that rap on me. Do you hear me, cop?
Yeah, I hear you. I got you in a 412, too.
A 412? What's a 412?
Overacting. Let's go.
On September the 5th, the dragon was tried and convicted. His fire was put out and his maiden devouring license revoked. Maiden devouring out of season is punishable by a term of not less than 50 or more than 300 years.
(1953), and no, that wasn't really Jack Webb. That was Stan Freberg. St. George and the Dragonet, a #1 record on the charts in 1953, sounding even better in 1974. And the other voices, by the way, were June Perret, Hy Averback, and Dawes Butler, who also helped Stan Freberg write St. George and the Dragonet, one of the biggest comedy parody records ever. We move on to 1954, the year Puerto Rican terrorists shot up the House of Representatives. The Supreme Court decided racial segregation in schools was unconstitutional, and 55,000 illegal aliens were rounded up in California and deported. Juvenile delinquency was on everybody's lips, and on everybody's feet. Mambo was the new dance craze, well, among certain generations anyway. Among the younger generations, it wasn't mambo, it was rock and roll.
Life could be a dream, life could be a dream. Do, 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 shaboom. Life could be a dream. If I could take you up in paradise up above. If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and open we'll meet again. Boom, ding dong, ding dong, a lang, a lang, a lang. Oh, 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 pip, a bib, a dib. Oh, life could be a dream. If only all my precious plans would come true. If you would let me spend my whole life loving you. Life could be a dream, sweetheart.
Every time I look at you, something is on my mind. If you do what I want you to, maybe we'd be so fine.
Oh, life could be a dream. Shaboom, if I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom, and tell me, darling, I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and hope we'll meet again. Boom, life could be a dream. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. be a dream. Shaboom, if I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom, you tell me, darling, I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and hope we meet again. Boom, boom, boom. Ding dong, ding dong, a lang a lang a lang a lang a lang. Whoa, bip, a bip, a do, ba dip. Whoa, life could be a dream. Life could be a dream. Do 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 shaboom.
Shaboom, 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 and rock and roll was on its way and here to stay. 1954 was the first big year when R&B really exploded out of the ghettos and became a national passion, soon to be expanded into an area of music that would include everything all the way from James Brown to Frankie Avalon. Yes, it was rock and roll, often a-going in 1954, and we got about 19 years to go as we march towards 1974. Yes, indeed. You're hearing 50 Years of Dementia, a Dr. Demento special on KMET.
We've been waiting for so long.
Mary.
We want to play for you some of our songs.
Bet you by golly dee.
Grand Central Station is the name of our group. We're making this record especially for you. So lay on back and hear us play and sing. 'Cause we're really gonna do our thing. Graham Central Station. Now can you handle that?
Larry Graham's Graham Central Station.
Now can you handle that?
On the move.
Now can you handle that?
Straight up. On Warner Brothers Records and Tapes.
Available at all locations of Do Re Mi Records. See Graham Central Station at the Hollywood Bowl, June 29th.
Dr. Demento.
1955, Eisenhower had a heart attack. More positive developments on the medical front. Salk. Dr. Salk perfected his polio vaccine. TV quiz shows were really big, especially the $64,000 question. Mary Martin and Peter Pan made color television history. And rock and roll was becoming quite a passion among young people. For instance, Rock Around Clock was a big hit that year in the movie Blackboard Jungle, and Maybelline by Chuck Berry, and lots more. But there was one record from 1955 that became a #1 hit without that rockin' beat, and I'd just love to play it again for you folks to show you people who maybe weren't listening to the radio much in 1955 what the rest of us went through in those days of the coonskin cap. Yes, indeed, it's Bill Hayes and his #1 platinum record of the Ballad of Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett, the king of the wild frontier.
Born on a mountaintop in Tennessee, the greenest state in the land of the free. Raised in the woods so's he knew every tree, and killed Tim a bar when he was only 3. Davy Crockett, the king of the wild frontier. He fought single-handed through the Injun War, till the creeks was whipped and peace was in store. And while he was handling his risky chore, he made himself a legend forevermore. Davy Crockett, the king of the wild frontier. When he lost his love, his grief was gall. In his heart he wanted to leave it all and lose himself in the forests tall. But he answered instead his country's call. Davy Crockett, the choice of the whole frontier.
He went off to Congress and served a spell, fixing up the government laws as well. Took over Washington, so we hear tell, and patched up the crack in the Liberty Bell. Davy Crockett, serving his country well.
When he come home, his politicking done, why the big western march had just begun. He packed up his gear and his trusty gun and lit out the grinning to follow the sun. Davy Crockett, leading a pioneer. His land is biggest and his land is best, from grassy plains to the mountain crest. He's ahead of us all, a meeting a test, and following his legend right into the west. Davy Crockett, the king of the wild frontier. King of the wild frontier.
1955, The Ballad of Davy Crockett. Oh, yes, I know. Fess Parker was the one who sang it on the tube, but the one who made the biggest selling record of it by far was Bill Hayes, The Ballad of Davy Crockett. Ah, yes, Disney. 1956. That was the year that the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus played its last performance under the Big Top. The Soviets invaded Hungary, and Don Larson pitched a perfect game against the Dodgers in the World Series. Meanwhile, in rock and roll, Elvis Presley became rock and roll's first super-duper star. But you've heard all Elvis's hits, so I'm going to sum up the spirit of 1956, the wild and wacky and zany spirit of 1956, with this record, which kind of really serves my rock and roll purpose by getting about 10 or 12 rock and roll records into the space of one. Buchanan and Goodman, take it away.
We interrupt this record to bring you a special bulletin. The reports of a flying saucer hovering over the city have been confirmed. The flying saucers are real.
Real when I feel what my heart can't conceal.
That was the Clatters recording. Too real. We switch you now to our on-the-spot reporter downtown.
Come on, baby, let's go downtown.
Take it away, John Cameron.
This is John Cameron downtown. Pardon me, madam. Would you tell our audience what would you do if the saucer were to land? Get back in the air! Thank you. And now the thin gentleman there.
What I'm gonna do is hard to tell.
The gentleman with the guitar. What would you do, sir?
Just take a walk down the street.
Thank you. We return you now.
This is Brett, your outer space disc jockey, with a request for
Earth Angel, Earth Angel.
That was the Pelicans' Outer Space recording Earth. I've just been handed a bulletin. The flying saucer has just landed. We switch you again downtown.
Here we are again. We have with us Professor Sir Cedric Fentingmold of the British Institute. The professor is approaching the saucer to see if there's possibly any sign of life aboard.
Well, I'm sure something. Are you there?
I hear you knocking, but you can't come in.
That was Laughing Lewis's record. Knocking.
This is John Cameron on the spot. And now I believe we're about to hear the words of the first spaceman ever to land on Earth. And now, here are the bowl scores.
4-3, 6-2, and 8-1.
The impact of seeing the first spaceman has this reporter reeling.
Here I go reeling.
That was the Clatters again with their big one. Oh!
This is John Cameron again downtown. The spaceman has returned to his ship and is taking off. We return you now to our studios.
The flying saucer has gone. There is no threat of an invasion. However, the flying saucers are still around.
Hey, baby, this is your Top 40 Maniac Radio Man with Flying Saucer Part 1 by Buchanan and Goodman. Well, just like Topsy Part 2 and Honky Tonk Part 2, there's a Flying Saucer Part 2, and we're going to play it for you right now.
We are not going to interrupt this record. Yes, we are. The flying saucer has landed again. Washington. The Secretary of Defense has just said,
Ain't that a shame?
That was Skinny Dynamo's record. That's a shame.
This is John Cameron Part 2. Gathered around me are several of the spacemen. Tell us, have you come to conquer the world? And now would you repeat that in English?
Don't want the world to have and hold. Hey, why don't you go back where you came from?
Don't be angry and drive me away.
We return you now to our studios.
Here is a news item from Washington. The president has just issued a statement to the spacemen, and we quote,
You can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoes.
That was Pa Gherkin's record, Shoes. We switch you again downtown.
This is John Cameron downtown. Professor Sir Cedric of the British Institute, tell us, how were the saucers able to land?
Where do you see it?
Motor cooled down, the heat went down.
That was Huckleberry's recording, The motor cooled down.
This is John Cameron again. I believe the spaceman has a final parting word.
See you later, alligator.
We return you now to our studios.
The spacemen have gone again. But look to the skies. The saucers will always be there.
Always be there. Goodbye, Earth people.
From 1956 on the Dr. Demento 50 Years of Dementia special, the first of hundreds of records to use little bits of other records to help make its point, and that made a lot of points, let me tell you. Flying Saucer with Buchanan and Goodman, and we move on to 1957. That was the year the Mad Bomber was arrested in New York City. The movie of the year was The Bridge on the River Kwai, and over in Russia, Sputnik was launched. Setting off a science binge, I remember announcements on the radio saying, "Save our country, you must pursue a career in science." And thereby, all these public service announcements contributed to the overwhelming aerospace unemployment of the 1970s, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. The musical event of 1957 was Calypso. In fact, everybody, all the wise people in the music business were going around saying that Calypso was going to replace rock and roll. Can you imagine acid calypso? Well, here's a vintage item from 1957. Terry Gilkyson and the Easy Riders, featuring the vocal by Rich Dare, who is now the owner and chef of the Discovery Inn in Topanga. Very fine restaurant, if I may say so. Unpaid commercial here. Anyway, back to the music. Terry Gilkyson, the Easy Riders, and Mary Ann.
All day, all night, Mary Ann. Down by the seaside, sifting sand. Even little children love Mary Ann. Down by the seaside, sifting sand. Mary Ann, oh won't you marry me? We can have a bamboo hut and brandy in the tea. Leave your fat old mama home, she never will say yes. If mama don't know now, she can guess my yes. All day, all night, Mary Ann. Down by the seaside, sifting sand. Even little children love Mary Ann. Down by the seaside, sifting sand. When she walks along the shore, people pause to greet. White birds fly around her, little fish come to her feet. In her heart is love, but I'm the only mortal man who's allowed to kiss my Mary Ann. Don't rush me. All day, all night, Mary Ann. Down by the seaside, sifting sand. Even little children love Mary Ann. Down by the seaside, sifting sand. When we marry, we will have a time you never saw. I will be so happy, I will kiss me mother-in-law. Phooey! Children by the dozen in and out the bamboo hut. One for every palm tree and coconut nut. Hurry up now! All day, all night, Mary Ann. Down by the seaside, sifting sand. Even little children love Mary Ann. Down by the seaside, sifting sand.
Mary Ann with Terry Gilkyson and the Easy Riders from 1957. You are hearing 50 Years of Dementia on KMET Los Angeles.
The following is a public service announcement from the KMET Broadcasting Company.
Los Angeles Area Spartacus League, a revolutionary Trotskyist organization, is presenting a public forum Tuesday night at the Embassy Hotel downtown. Speaking will be James Robertson, National Chairman of Spartacus League, U.S. His talk will be The Class Struggle and Prospects for the Rebirth of the Fourth International. The Embassy Hotel is at the corner of 9th and Grand in downtown L.A. The forum begins at 7:30. Spartacus League urges everyone to attend. For further information, please call 485-1838.
This has been another community service from KMET. The phone number for community service information is 936-2666.
Let me see if I got this right.
Dinner's under $1? Easy at McDonald's.
I need 2 Big Macs, 2 hamburgers, 4 bags of fries, 2 coffees, 2 milks, And that's it?
It costs a lot to feed a family of 4, but at participating McDonald's, you can still feed that family a good, wholesome, filling dinner for under $1 each. 100% pure beef hamburgers, world-famous French fries, hot coffee, fresh milk, and get them anytime. The under $1 dinners from McDonald's.
Dr. Demento.
1958, well, maybe that's the year our troubles began. Letter postage went from 3 cents to 4 cents, and there was the great quiz show fixing scandal started to break into the news. On the good side, the Dodgers moved to Los Angeles. That was also the year Khrushchev became premier of the USSR. And on the novelty front, novelties had another real vintage year in the rock and roll field, and the big thing that year was sped up voices, as in the Chipmunk song, The Witch Doctor, and our song from 1958, Sheb Woolley and the Purple People Eater.
Well, I saw the thing coming out of the sky. It had a one long horn and one big eye. I commenced to shaking and I said, ooh-wee. It looks like a purple people eater to me. It was a one-eyed, one-horn flying purple people eater.
One-eyed, one-horn flying purple people eater.
A one-eyed, one-horn flying purple people eater sure looks strange to me.
One-eyed?
Well, he came down to earth and he lit in a tree. I said, Mr. Purple People Eater, don't eat me. I heard him say in a voice so gruff,
I wouldn't eat you 'cause you're so tough.
it was a one-eyed, one-horn flying purple people eater.
One-eyed, one-horn flying purple people eater.
One-eyed, one-horn flying purple people eater sure looks strange to me.
One-horn?
I said, Mr. Purple People Eater, what's your line? He said, eating purple people and it sure is fine. But that's not the reason that I came to land.
I want to get a job in a rock and roll band.
Well, bless my soul, rock and roll, flying purple people eater, pigeon-toed, undergrowth, flying purple people eater.
He wears short shorts.
Friendly little people eater, what a sight to see. And then he swung from the tree and he lit on the ground and he started to rock, but really rocking around. It was a crazy ditty with a swinging tune.
Sing a bop bop a boop a lap a loom bam boom.
Well, bless my soul, rock and roll, flying purple people eater, pigeon-toed, undergrowth, flying purple people eater.
I like short shorts.
Flying purple people eater, what a sight to see.
Purple people.
Well, he went on his way and then what do you know? I saw him last night on a TV show. He was blowing it out, really knocking him dead, playing rock and roll music through the horn in his head.
Tequila. Oh, yeah. Friendly little purple people eater who, of course, only ate purple people, if you listen to the words carefully. That was Sheb Woolley and our Demented disc from 1958. One more time, if you tuned in late, we're doing a very extra special Dr. Demento show this time. It's not exactly a top 50, but then again it is, because we are playing one Demented disc from each of the 50 years, from 1925 all the way up to 1974. And now we move on to 1959 here on KMET. 1959, Hawaii and Alaska were admitted to statehood that year. Khrushchev visited the USA and was very angry because he was denied his request to tour Disneyland. There weren't very many cranberries on the Thanksgiving platters in 1959 because it was discovered that most of them were contaminated with weed killer. The movie of the year was Ben-Hur, the dance of the year was the Cha-Cha-Cha, and the last Civil War veteran died in 1959. And death happened to be a big trip in the pop records of 1959. We've got time to play two gems from 59, both having to do with rather morbid and macabre subjects. First, Mr. Mark Dinning.
Teen angel, teen angel, teen angel, ooh. That fateful night, the car was stalled upon the railroad track. I pulled you out and we were safe, but you went running back.
was it you were looking for that took your life that night? They said they found my high school ring clutched in your fingers tight. Teen angel, can you hear me? Teen angel, can you see me? Are you somewhere up above? And am I still your own true love? Just sweet 16, and now you're gone. They've taken you away. I'll never kiss your lips again. They buried you today. Teen angel, can you hear me? Teen angel, can you see me? Are you somewhere up above? And am I still your own true love? Teen angel, answer me,
I'm a mummy. I scare people. Watch what happens when I walk up to somebody. I'm a mummy. I was born 1,959 years ago. My daddy was a mummy too. Watch what happens when I walk up to somebody. I'm a mummy. I don't try to scare people. I really came back to life to buy a copy of Cookie, lend me your comb. But people run from me. Watch what happens when I walk up to somebody. I'm a mummy. I wish there was somebody somewhere who wasn't afraid of me. Oh well. Watch what happens when I walk up to somebody. I'm a mummy.
That's cool.
I'm a mummy.
You mean you're a mother?
No, I'm a mummy.
I'm a beatnik.
People are afraid of me.
Yeah, I'm hip.
I was born 1,959 years ago.
Oh yeah? Like, that's a long gig.
Where can I buy a copy of Cookie, lend me your comb?
Ooh, man, I don't dig that jazz. You know, Brubeck, Shearing, modern jazz quartet.
I'm a mummy.
Man, you gotta walk through.
Aren't you afraid of me? Aren't you gonna scream?
Oh yeah. Like help.
Like help, thank you. That was Rod McEwen in his pre-poetic days when he was known as Dor. That was a duet between Bob McFadden, who played the Mummy, and Dor, who was the beatnik. Good old Rod. With the Mummy from 1959, the nightcap of a doubleheader, the opening game was Teen Angel with Mark Dinning on the Dr. Demento 50 Years of Dementia special. Okay, it's another day, another decade, another dollar. Goodbye, 50s. Hello, 60s. The fad for novelties continued, as we'll hear in a moment. Meanwhile, on the news front, a black sit-in in a Greensboro, North Carolina lunch counter. And that was the year the Red Chinese bombarded the nationalist-held islands of Quemoy and Matsu while Ike was visiting Formosa. Francis Gary Powers and his U-2 spy plane were shot down over the USSR, wrecking a proposed summit conference. And in the fall, Kennedy defeated Nixon in the campaign featuring the famous TV debates. And on the radio, it was novelties all the way, with Alley-Oop by the Hollywood Argyles and this one here by young Brian Hyland.
She was afraid to come out of the locker. She was as nervous as she could be. She was afraid to come out of the locker. She was afraid that somebody would see.
2, 3, 4,
tell the people what she wore.
It was an itsy-bitsy, teeny-weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. An itsy-bitsy, teeny-weeny yellow polka dot bikini, so in the locker she wanted to stay.
2, 3, 4, stick around, we'll tell you more.
She was afraid to come out in the open, and so a blanket around her she wore. She was afraid to come out in the open, and so she sat bundled up on the shore.
2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore.
It was an itsy-bitsy, teeny-weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. An itsy-bitsy, teeny-weeny yellow polka dot bikini, so in the blanket she wanted to stay.
2, 3, 4, stick around, we'll tell you more.
Now she's afraid to come out of the water, and I wonder what she's gonna do. Now she's afraid to come out of the water, and the poor little girl's turning blue.
2, 3, 4, tell the people what she wore.
It was an itsy-bitsy, teeny-weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. An itsy-bitsy, teeny-weeny yellow polka dot bikini, so in the locker she wanted to stay.
From the locker to the blanket, from the blanket to the shore, from the shore to the water.
Guess there isn't any more.
Well, there is more. There's another 13 years to go in our mad, demented countdown to 1974. That was our record for 1960. Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini by Brian Hyland on the Dr. Demento half-century of dementia on KMET. The north wind doth blow, and we gonna have snow. But don't you worry. Gordon Lightfoot's got the warmest voice on the planet, and Sundown is his new album.
7 islands to the high side of the bay, across the bay to the sunset, through the blue light of a fiery autumn haze.
Gordon Lightfoot on Reprise Records and Tapes. His new album, Sundown.
Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. Sundown.
Available at all locations of Do Re Mi Records. See Gordon Lightfoot at the Universal Amphitheater, July 5th through the 7th.
Dr. Demento.
In 1961, the United States stuck its national foot in its national mouth for the second year in a row. Remember, in 1960, it was the U-2 spy plane incident. In 1961, it was the Bay of Pigs. Oink, an abortive attempt to overthrow the Cuban government. Airplane hijackings were big that year, and so on a more positive note were the freedom rides on buses in the South. The Peace Corps was founded, and the famous novelist Ernest Hemingway shot himself in the head. Meanwhile, the novelties continued, and one record that came out in 1961 and was number 1 on the charts has perhaps spawned more offshoots than any other novelty record in American history, all the way from Big Bad Bruce to the Ballad of Irving. This was the one that started it all. Jimmy Dean, the Sausage Man, and Big Bad John.
Big John, Big John.
Every morning at the mine you could see him arrive. He stood 6'6" and weighed 245, kind of broad at the shoulder and narrow at the hip. And everybody knew you didn't give no lip to Big John.
Big John, Big John,
Big Bad John,
Big John.
Nobody seemed to know where John called home. He just drifted into town and stayed all alone. He didn't say much, he kind of quiet and shy. And if you spoke at all, you just said hi to Big John. Somebody said he came from New Orleans, where he got in a fight over a Cajun queen, and a crashing blow from a huge right hand sent a Louisiana fella to the promised land, Big John.
Big John, Big John,
Big Bad John,
Big John.
Then came the day at the bottom of the mine when a timber cracked and men started crying. Miners were praying and hearts beat fast, and everybody thought that they'd breathed their last except John. Through the dust and the smoke of this man-made hell walked a giant of a man that the miners knew well, grabbed a sagging timber and gave out with a groan, and like a giant oak tree just stood there alone, Big John.
Big John, Big John,
Big Bad John,
Big John.
And with all of his strength he gave a mighty shove. Then a miner yelled out, "There's a light up above," and 20 men scrambled from a would-be grave. Now there's only one left down there to save Big John. With jacks and timbers they started back down. Then came that rumble way down in the ground, and as smoke and gas belched out of that mine, everybody knew it was the end of the line for Big John.
Big John, Big John,
Big Bad John,
Big John.
Now they never reopened that worthless pit. They just placed a marble stand in front of it. These few words are written on that stand. At the bottom of this mine lies one hell of a man, Big John.
Big John, Big John,
Big Bad John,
Big John, Big John,
Big Bad John.
Well, I don't think Jimmy Dean was singing about Farmer John there, much as he might like to bury Farmer John. That's Jimmy Dean, the Sausage Man, and Big Bad John, his #1 hit in 1961, sounding even better in 1974. We are counting down all the years, the last 50 years of dementia here on the Dr. Demento Show as we move on into 1962, the year of the Cuban Missile Crisis, which for a few anxious days threatened to start World War III. Meanwhile, World War II became more evident as the U.S. involvement in Vietnam grew and grew. In Seattle, there was the Century 21 Exposition, and meanwhile, Adolf Eichmann, the ex-Nazi, was hanged, and Marilyn Monroe died, and in London, a fog killed 170 people. But spreading happiness around the world was a little more pleasant pursuit, and that pursuit was pursued by music, soul music, and surf music, and folk music. Yes, 1962 was the year of the big hootenanny boom, and those folk singers took on everything. They were singing not only the ballads of 400 years ago or the blues of 40 years ago, but they were singing the protest songs of now, some of them very serious, some of them kind of lighthearted like this one, as sung for us by the Gold Coast Singers with Spoken Introduction from 1962.
Good morning, friends. This is the hour of reckoning. Hello, friends and neighbors, how do you do? We're here to pick and sing, and we hope we bring some happiness to you. Hello, friends and neighbors, here we are from Del Rio, Texas, every morning at 5:30 a.m., brought to you by the Pink and Pleasant Plastic Icon Company of Del Rio, Texas, every morning at 5:30 a.m. in the morning. Hallelujah. Friends, now we have word for you from our sponsor, the Pink and Pleasant Plastic Icon Company of Del Rio, Texas. Hallelujah. I don't care if it rains or freezes, as long as I've got my plastic Jesus glued to the dashboard of my car. You can buy him phosphorescent, glows in the dark, he's pink and pleasant. Take him with you when you're traveling far. Hallelujah, friends, yes, you too can own one. For only $1.98, no CODs, please, Del Rio, Texas. Hallelujah, and friends, if you send in this week $2.98, you'll get, in addition to your Pink and Pleasant Plastic Icon, you'll get a genuine, stimulated, pink plastic baby Jesus television light for your television set with a halo that glows and rotates, easing eye strain and bringing in better reception. And friends, no CODs, please, and friends, if you do send in for this week, without fail, and put in 50 cents extra for stamps, hallelujah, you friends will receive every day next week a different member of the Holy Family. With a halo that glows and rotates, a television light antenna, Imagine, friends, the envy of your neighbors when they come in to watch Mitch Miller at your house and they see the entire Holy Family sitting on top of your television set with their halos glowing and rotating, easing our strain and bringing in better reception. Friends and neighbors, hallelujah, what better place for a family altar than the top of your television set? You can buy a sweet Madonna dressed in rhinestones, sitting on a pedestal of abalone shell. Going 90, I'm not wary, 'cause I've got my Virgin Mary guaranteeing I won't go to hell. All together now. I don't care if it rains or freezes, as long as I've got my plastic Jesus glued to the dashboard of my click.
Click, 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 clack, click, clack, click, clack. The Gold Coast Singers and Plastic Jesus. The folk boom was a boomin' in 1962, and we're counting down the years up to 1974. Counting up the years, I guess I ought to say, here on a very special Dr. Demento show as we get into 1963. 1963 was the year the 60s decided to really be the 60s and start knocking us around some. The USSR and Red China agreed to disagree, and South Vietnam and the United States both had ours or theirs presidents assassinated. But before that grim day of November 22nd, the spring of 1963 was notably enlivened by a group called the Randells, who came from outer space with a whine and a roar and a rock and roll, singing the Martian Hop, 63.
Just discovered an important note from space. The Martians plan to throw a dance for all the human race.
From the ill-fated year of 1963, the Randells and Martian Hop, a perennial Dr. Demento top 10 item. 1964 was also a sad year in a number of ways. Harpo Marx died that year, and also Eddie Cantor and the great songwriter Cole Porter. But in other ways, it was really a knockout of a year, was 1964. Cassius Clay, as he was then known, knocked out Sonny Liston. An earthquake knocked out Alaska. LBJ knocked out Goldwater. Mary Poppins and My Fair Lady knocked out the movie-going public. And biggest and best of all, the Beatles just knocked out America. Let's hear a song about the Beatles.
Beetle haircut, oh, unhappy day. My boyfriend got a beetle haircut, now I can't chase the girls away. Once he was mine, all mine alone. We'd talk all day on the telephone.
From 1964, as we go through a half century of dementia year by year, Donna, Lynn, and my boyfriend got a Beatle haircut on the Dr. Demento Show. 50 years of dementia on KMET. KMET Los Angeles, that is.
Dr. Demento.
1965, the year of the Watts riots in Los Angeles. In the northeastern United States, the big story was electricity. It seems that either with or without it, you couldn't win. Electric power failed in the northeast USA and Canada in, I think it was a 9-state area and about 3 provinces. For 16 hours, just nothing ran. There was no electricity. And the other side of the coin, Bob Dylan used electricity on the stage at the Newport Folk Festival and was booed roundly for it. As folk rock kind of gradually and grindingly got itself together, and the 60s became more and more the 60s that we now know and love and look back fondly upon, but were sometimes exciting, but not always that much fun to go through. Tom Lehrer made a great album that year commenting on some of the events of 1965, certainly a better year than most to comment upon. There was just lots of fodder for Tom Lehrer's gristmill in 1965. He called his album That Was the Year That Was, and we'll just let him tell about the rest of the news of 1965.
One of the big news items of the past year concerned the fact that China, which we call Red China, exploded a nuclear bomb, which we called a device. Then Indonesia announced that it was going to have one soon, and proliferation became the word of the day. Here's a song about that. First we got the bomb, and that was good, 'cause we love peace and motherhood. Then Russia got the bomb, but that's okay, 'cause the balance of power's maintained that way. Who's next? France got the bomb, but don't you grieve, 'cause they're on our side, I believe. China got the bomb, but have no fears. They can't wipe us out for at least 5 years. Who's next? Then Indonesia claimed that they were gonna get one any day. South Africa wants 2, that's right. 1 for the black and 1 for the white. Who's next? Egypt's gonna get one too, just to use on you know who. So Israel's getting tense, wants one in self-defense. The Lord's our shepherd, says the psalm, but just in case, we better get a bomb. Who's next? Luxembourg is next to go, and who knows, maybe Monaco. We'll try to stay serene and calm when Alabama gets the bomb. Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Who's next?
Professor Tom Lehrer. Thank you, Professor. That was from the album That Was the Year That Was, and the year that was 1965. You're hearing it on the Dr. Demento Show, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years to go as we count down or count up, depends on your point of view, to 1974 with one fantastic demented disc from each year. 1966. The Yankees finished last in the American League. And as for those other Yankees, the Vietnam War heated up with resumption of air raids over the north and lots of things like that. It was not a year for sanity, and Napoleon XIV caught the essence of that.
Remember when you ran away and I got on my knees and begged you not to leave because I'd go berserk? Well, you left me anyhow, and then the days got worse and worse, and now you see I've gone completely out of my mind. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, they're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away, ha-ha! You thought it was a joke, and so you laughed. You laughed when I had said that losing you would make me flip my lid. Right? You know you laughed. I heard you laugh. You laughed and then you left. But now you know I'm utterly mad. They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the happy home with trees and flowers and chirping birds and basket weavers who sit and smile and twiddle their thumbs and toes, and they're coming to take me away, ha-ha. I cooked your food, I cleaned your house, and this is how you pay me back for all my kind, unselfish, loving deeds. Ha? Well, you just wait, they'll find you yet, and when they do, they'll put you in the ASPCA, you mangy mutt. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, they're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away, ha-ha, to the happy home with trees and flowers and chirping birds and basket weavers who sit and smile and twiddle their thumbs and toes, and they're coming to take me away, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy.
1966 as we get closer and closer and closer to the present. It kind of scares me. Oh, yes, 50 years of dementia coming right up to the present, coming up right up to now. That's 1966 and Napoleon XIV, the fantastic Jerry Samuels, and they're coming to take me away. We'll be hearing from Jerry again when we get to 1973, but now we come to the point of 1967. That was the year Che Guevara was killed, and Bob Dylan almost was in a motorcycle accident. There was a Middle East crisis that year, and Israel almost, but not quite, finished off the Arabs in 6 days. On a more positive, psychedelic note, it was the year that Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band was released on June 1st. And a week or two later, it was the Monterey Pop Festival where Jimi Hendrix and The Who and Otis Redding turned everybody on so much. One artist who wasn't there, but who did a song that kind of captured the psychedelic essence of 1967 was a fellow by the name of Spike Jones Jr. Remember the banana craze? This gets right to the heart of that. Spike Jones Jr. from 1967, a song with appeal. Get it?
Have you ever wondered why a monkey acts as if he's high? The things he does are crazy as can be. Oh yeah, well that funky little monkey, that little jungle junkie, eats bananas and goes freaking through the trees. Have you ever sung along to a banana picker song? Hey Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. He can't wait to pick 'em, get home to roll and lick 'em. A million picker puppers can't be wrong. We wanna pack a ripe banana, 20 class A bananas, regular menthol filter will do. There isn't nothing makes a lovin' like something from the oven. Cause how can they bust you for smoking a piece of fruit? Bananas! Something from the oven. Cause how can they bust you for smoking a piece of fruit? Bananas! We wanna pack a ripe banana. There isn't nothing makes a lovin' like something from the oven. Bananas, something must be wrong. I just get bloated, not turned on. Banana smoke has no effect on me. Oh no, no matter how I try, I simply can't get high. But you ought to see the way I climb a tree. This whole thing's be a joke. Department of Agriculture hoax. Invented cause banana sales was slow. So slow, what would happen if they lied? Said that fruit pits made you high. We'd all be popping fruit pits, don't you know? Have you ever wondered why a monkey acts as if he's high? The things he does are crazy as can be. Oh yeah, well that funky little monkey, that little jungle donkey, bananas and the street.
Spike Jones Jr. following in his dad's footsteps with a little bit of a 1967 psychedelic twist to that one, written by the Idrisi brothers, who had a few rock and roll hits in the 50s. So everybody kind of grows along and grows with the times. From 1967, that was a song with a P-L-P-E-E-L on the Dr. Demento Show, and we move on to 1968. And I was looking all over the place for a record to truly represent 1968, and I finally settled on one. Some of you may groan when you hear this one again. First of all, I better get down with the news. That was the year the USS Pueblo was seized, and Robert Kennedy was assassinated, and Nixon was elected. Talk about something to make you groan. Editorial comment. The Graduate was a big movie that year, and Yale admitted women that year, and there was a little row at the Chicago Democratic Convention. And getting back to music, anyhow, this was a record that was on the charts that year, and I'm almost ready to say that this one sounds better in 1974 than it did in 68. I think it's just on the threshold of becoming demented. It's got 6 years of aging on it. It's almost but not quite turning into a finely aged bottle of Burgundy, or at least a finely aged bottle of Coca-Cola. It's the Ohio Express.
Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy, and I feel like I'm loving you. Love you such a sweet thing, good enough to eat thing, and it's just what I'm gonna do. Ooh, love to hold ya, ooh, love to kiss ya, ooh, love, I love it so. Ooh, love is sweeter, sweeter than sugar, ooh, love, I won't let you go. Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy, and as silly as it may seem, the loving that you're giving is what keeps me living, and love is like peaches and cream. Kinda like sugar, kinda like spices, kinda like what you do. Kinda sounds funny, but I love honey, and honey, I love you. Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy that your love can't satisfy. Love you such a sweet thing, good enough to eat thing, and a sweet thing that ain't no lie. I love to hold ya, I love to kiss ya, oh love, I love it so. Oh love, you're sweeter, sweeter than sugar, oh love, I won't let you go. Sweet thing, yummy, yummy, sweet thing, sweet thing, yummy, yummy, sweet thing.
You know, that may be the most risque record I played all night. From 1968, the Ohio Express with Yummy, Yummy, Yummy. I've got love in my tummy. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just 6 years to go till 1974. I can't wait, and yet it scares me a little. We'll have 6 years to go right after this word. You are listening to 50 Years of Dementia on KMET Los Angeles.
Jesse Colin Young is a man of quiet dignity and self-respect, letting his light shine with warmth and good feelings.
People, let your light shine. Come on now, let it shine. Come on, let it shine on all night and day.
Jesse's new album is Light Shine.
You know that I love you. Why can't you believe it, Susan?
Light Shine, a maturing sense of joy and happiness from Jesse Colin Young on Warner Brothers Records and Tapes. Let his light shine on you.
Still found that you lie.
Or bail about all locations of Do Re Mi Records, see Jesse Colin Young at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium on June 18th.
The news of 1969. Eisenhower and Ho Chi Minh died. Men walked on the moon. The Manson family murders. Woodstock. The Mets won the World Series. And to read another story from 1969. Aircraft flew over the Mexican hill country today, sniffing out fields of pot and opium poppies, preparing to spray them with weed killer or defoliants a la Vietnam. The action was all too obviously reminiscent of Prohibition, even to the disagreement over the harmful effects of pot and to the agreement on the noxious character of those pushing drugs. From that whole climate comes this song recorded in Berkeley, October 13th, 1969, by Mr. Jeff Jason, 1969.
You're strutting casually down the street when a man comes up to you looking beat with telltale traces of hippie on his chin. You say howdy and he says, hi, got anything that'll make me fly? And if you do, I surely wish you'd let me in on what you're dealing, brother. In your mind you start to ponder what to turn this fella on to, and then you get a look into his eyes. You find his beard is only makeup and his line is purely fake up. Then and only then you realize that he's your friend, the neighborhood narco agent, friend, the neighborhood narco man, courtesy of your local FBI. Your friend, the neighborhood narco daddy, all-American thinking Fetty, there to trip you up while you are high. You're sitting in the coffee house gloom when the waiter comes up to you with a broom and he asks to sweep the floor around your chair. When you ask him why, he says, routine, we like to keep our coffee clean, and he proceeds to tidy up with care. You light yourself a cigarette, find out soon as you got it lit that 40 newfound friends are by your side. And someone hands you a note that's penciled telling you your flight's been canceled. Just the same, you're going for a ride with your friend, the neighborhood narco agent, friend, the neighborhood narco man, courtesy of your local FBI. Your friend, the neighborhood narco daddy, all-American thinking Betty, there to trip you up while you are high. Now you duck into an alleyway thinking, hey, maybe I can cop a J and get back before the boss finds out I'm gone. Remembering the golden rule, you look both ways, make sure it's cool, and when there ain't a soul for miles around, you clutch your baggie full of weed and careful not to spill a seed, you roll a joint as big as Baltimore. And as you take that first big drag in, a helicopter drops a paddy wagon, and guess who's standing smiling by the door? It's your friend, the neighborhood narco agent, friend, the neighborhood narco man, courtesy of your local CIA. Your friendly neighborhood college dropout, undercover copper cop-out, keeping law and order bright and gay. Yes, you find out that the freak you trusted is a fink that got you busted. And 20 years is a long time to stay on the ground.
Jeff Jason, spelled with one F, if you please. Friendly neighborhood narco agent from 1969 on the Dr. Demento 50 Years of Dementia countdown. Okay, goodbye 60s. Hello 70s, 1970. The Cambodian invasion, the Kent State shootings. It was hard to know which way to go. Even the Beatles, the mighty Beatles, sounded a little confused on this one from 1970.
You know my name. You know my name. Ba 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 ba. Look up the number. You know my name. That's right. Look up the number. Oh, you know my name. You know my name. You know my name. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Look up the number. You know my name. Look up the number. You know my name, baby. You know my name. You know my name. You know my name.
Dennis, let's hear it for Dennis O'Fell. You know my name. You know my name. You know my name. Look at the number. You know my name. Look at the number. You know my name. Look at the number. You know my number 2. You know my number 3. You know my number 4. You know my name. You know my name. You know my number 2. You know my number. What's up with you? You know my name. That's right.
Yeah.
That sold 1.5 million copies. Of course, Let It Be was on the other side, but that doesn't matter. You know my name. Look up the number with the Beatles. Our fine, lovely, decadent, delicious Beatles. Breathing their luscious last. You know my name. Look up the number. 1970 as we get frighteningly close to 1974 on the Dr. Demento 50 Years of Dementia special countdown. Sounds more like the top 10 all the time. Of course, the top 10 will return next week in all its normal glory, but we're being a little more insane than that this week. 1971. The Nixon wage and price freeze froze my salary for a while. Froze my carrots too. And the 18-year-olds of our nation were given the right to vote in the first question that they were all asked to vote upon. 18-year-olds from all across the nation, all the way from Maine to Montebello, all the way from Seattle to Sarasota, were all asked to vote on the supreme question, the most crucial question that has ever faced the electorate in the history of the United States of America. Do you like boobs a lot?
You like boobs a lot? Yes, I like boobs a lot. Boobs a lot, boobs a lot. You gotta like boobs a lot. Really like boobs a lot. You gotta like boobs a lot. Boobs a lot, boobs a lot. You gotta like boobs a lot. Down in the locker room, just three boys beating down the locker room with all that noise, singing, do you like boobs a lot? You gotta like boobs a lot. Boobs a lot, boobs a lot. You gotta like boobs a lot. Do you wear your jock a lot? Yes, I wear my jock a lot. Got to wear your jock a lot. Gotta wear your jock a lot. Jock a lot, jock a lot. You gotta wear your jock a lot. Got to wear your jock a lot. You gotta wear your jock a lot. Out on the football field, you never can tell what a heel can wheel, so you gotta wear your jock a lot. Gotta wear your jock a lot. Jock a lot, jock a lot. You gotta wear you chocolate. If I had a flag along, if I had a flag along, if I had a long flag along, if I had a long flag along, if you like boobs a lot, tag along. Beep beep bop, beep boop a lot. Yes, I like boobs a lot, boobs a lot, boobs a lot. You gotta like boobs a lot. They're big and round, they're all around. They're big and round, they're all around. Do you like boobs a lot? Yes, I like boobs a lot. Boobs a lot, boobs a lot. You gotta like boobs a lot. Do you like boobs a lot? You gotta like boobs a lot. Boobs a lot, boobs a lot. You gotta like boobs a lot. Down in the locker room, just three boys beating down the locker room with all that noise. Singing, do you like boobs a lot? Yes, I like boobs a lot. Boobs a lot, boobs a lot. You gotta like boobs a lot. Do you wear your chocolate? Yes, I wear my chocolate. Got to wear your chocolate. You gotta wear your chocolate. Got to wear your chocolate. You gotta wear your chocolate. Got to wear the chocolate. You gotta wear your chocolate. Down on the football field, we never can tell what a heel can feel. So you gotta wear your chocolate. Gotta wear your chocolate. Got to wear your chocolate. Gotta wear your chocolate. If I had a flag along, if I had a flag along, if I had a long flag along, if I had a long flag along, if you like boobs a lot, tag along. Beep beep bop, beep boop a lot. Yes, I like boobs a lot, boobs a lot, boobs a lot. Gotta like boobs a lot. They're big and round, they're all around. They're big and round, they're all around.
The Holy Modal Rounders with Boobs a Lot, representing 1971, the year it was originally issued. We got 3 years to go, each one better than the last, you better believe it. You're hearing 50 Years of Dementia nearing its climax on KMET.
My head's in a cloud.
Developed, and a new era in entertainment began right here in Los Angeles as Dr. Demento joined the staff of KMET. And quite possibly the most demented record in all of 1972 was made by the man who wrote A Boy Named Sue for Johnny Cash. But this song he saved for himself, Shel Silverstein.
Oh, Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. She'd wash the dishes and scrub the pans, cook the